Good afternoon. I can see they're busy now filling in the checks. Our motivational speaker spoke about educated people complaining too much. And I happen to have read from one key holder many years ago that read, the more you complain, the longer God lets you live. And I'm not too sure if educated people are not complaining because their education, like someone said, my education was interrupted by my going to school. So I'm not too sure about that. But I want to say this, good people, you know, as South Africans at times, if not most of the time, we like complaining. And sometimes we complain not really knowing how life is like out there. For example, maybe some may complain that the money they'll be getting is too little. They are worth more than that. But then the fact of the matter is, you've got to be well informed to understand and actually appreciate and value what you are getting. I'm sure we all know that we've got a very high unemployment rate in the country. In fact, our unemployment rate is amongst the highest in the world, standing at 25%, and I'm talking official unemployment rate. I'm not talking about, it doesn't include the discouraged job seekers. But what is challenging with our unemployment rate is that 72% of the 25% that is currently unemployed, it's the youth between the ages of 14 and 35 years, which basically puts us into some kind of a youth unemployment crisis. Because like I'm saying, 72% of the 25% of the unemployed people is our youth between 14 and 35. And if we even begin to segment that cohort into maybe two different groups, say 14 to 24, then 24 to 35, we now know that the majority of those belong to the cohort of 15 to 24. The majority of the youth that is unemployed belongs to that category or that age group. And again, if we even segment that 15 to 24 cohort, we know that the highest of our young people who are unemployed today belong to the group of 14 to 19. So about 64% of the 15 to 24 cohort, who is unemployed, belongs to the 15 to 19 years age group. And of course, I mean, I'm sure you can begin to think, why are we having such a high rate or higher rates of unemployment in those cohorts? Well, if we were to look at the age 15 to 19, we now know that in this country, in our education system, we're losing about 20% of our learners after grade 9 every year. They drop out of school. So it's no wonder that they eventually get unemployed. Now, what we are therefore as government, we are faced with, it's not only about supporting the absorption of young people into the labor market, but also to prepare them for the world of work, which is what this intention program is trying to achieve. But then again, there's another thing we need to know about the labor market, and that is, we know that unemployment is highest amongst females in this country, amongst females, amongst blacks, and as I've said, amongst those between the ages of 15 and 24. And I've got no doubt that the majority of you belong to that age cohort. But then again, we know that unemployment declines in the older age groups, which basically begins to tell us that our labor market is biased against the younger job seekers. Okay? But then one thing that is interesting that we now know also is that on aggregate, for the entire 15 to 34 age cohort, the unemployment rate decreases as levels of educational attainment increase. Attainment of higher qualifications does enhance access to the labor market. Hence, we are saying as the GST and the NRF, yes, we know that more than 60% of our interns eventually get absorbed by the host institutions. But then, of course, we would like, especially those with lower level qualifications, would like to see most of them converting to higher qualifications. As the GST, the internship program is one of our most important programs. One, because it serves the national government's agenda in terms of addressing the youth unemployment crisis. But then again, we viewing it as one program also that will help us to catch those that we need to actually come back to the mainstream of our ACD pipeline. Because we would want to see more and more of our people getting PhDs. And I think it was Dr. Maharaj who explained earlier on as to where do we sit in terms of our PhD concentration, if I may say, within the country compared to other developing worlds, and what our national development plan targets by year 2030, 100 PhDs per 100 million of the population. Currently we're sitting at 28. Maybe just to give you a sense of how much we take the internship program seriously, you can look at the track record of the investments we've made as the GST. Since the inception of this program in 2005, we've invested well over 100 million into this program, 107 million to be precise. And again, just to get a sense of how much we're scaling up this program, in the next 3 years as the GST, we're planning to invest about 142 million. 2005 to date, we've invested 107, and in the next 3 years, we're planning to invest 142 million, which would make us support about 1,600 interns. So we take this program seriously. Maybe without wasting your time, ladies and gentlemen, let me just speak. There's very little, I guess, that I can say to the interns because a lot has been said. The issues about you are in the workplace to learn because we want you to be prepared for work. It shouldn't just be a year of service, it should be a year of experience. Because service and experience are two different things. You can have 10 years of service, but 1 year of experience. So we hope this year will count as one of those years in terms of you getting experience to be able to be absorbed by the labor market, or at least also be encouraged to further your studies. Now, it has been said also, even from the motivational speaker's point of view, that good people, please go there and sell yourself. You want those institutions to employ you, so you must sell yourself. When I was still doing matric, I think in one of the sessions after one had won the Olympiads, there's somebody who said some very powerful words to say, if you don't sell yourself, no one will buy you. So please, go sell yourselves there and you will be bought surely. I'm not going to talk about the issues of how you should dress, how you should behave and conduct yourself. Nobisi has spoken about that. And reliability and punctuality, Dr. Maharaj spoke about that. But the key thing is, please go there and be professional. I mean, at the GST, we do also host interns. And my heart hurts when I see young people, once they are there, they forget why they are there. I mean, they behave, they dress as if, I don't know, they're going to some party or something. And I think if I were to be the supervisor of this young person, I don't think I would have employed this person. Some of them you call, the way they respond on the phone, not even knowing who is behind the phone. So those are the things I think you really have to pay attention to, so that you really become indispensable in those host institutions. So I would just say be professional. Then lastly, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say we are quite grateful, and many thanks to the NRF that have run this program on behalf of the GST, and we are quite happy because we know it is in good hands. In this respect, I would like to thank Dr. Maharaj, Dr. Gwebu, and her team. And I don't know how she recruits her staff, because I'm telling you, when I came at the GST, it was a different team altogether, but she always recruits quality people. And that you will see by the manner in which they will run this program. And I'm sure you have started to see that from just this occasion. Also, I would like, on behalf of the GST, to thank the host institutions who I know will also invest their resources and their personnel to give our young people the experience that will make them marketable in the future. And the mentors in particular, who will invest, and I know some of them have invested their time mentoring those who came before you in the previous years, and we are quite indebted to those people, because without them this internship program would not materialize. For today also, I would like to thank Dr. Malete. I'm not too sure if he's still here. I mean, I think this was the wonderful motivational speaking I have ever experienced within the internship program. So big ups to him. I think you are quite a lucky group, because I have heard about him even before I knew that he was going to be in this internship induction day. So thank you very much, Dr. Malete. Your motivation was not only relevant to the young people here. I'm sure all of us, old as we are, we benefited from your motivational speech today. Obviously, our host, CPUT, we're quite grateful for them making this venue and everything else accessible to all of us. We're quite grateful for that. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to share with you one quotation that was normally said by one of my science teachers when I was still at high school many years ago, which I think will also help some of you who are younger. And this was an old man who used to not only teach us science, but also motivate us to be the good people in future. And this is what this old man used to say. And I actually have a picture of him in my mind, even though it has been that long time ago, pushing his hair like this and saying, steps of fortune are slippery, and man of pleasure is a man of pain. Steps of fortune are slippery, and man of pleasure is a man of pain. Thank you. Good luck.